genre. Still like the survival type game that it's obviously meant to, and as this game has come together, it's just gotten better and better. I'm really looking forward to the full launch. Number 5 is an HD remake of Resident Evil 2. Now, if you recall, the first Resident Evil's HD remake is fantastic, and the same people are handling the Resident Evil 2 remake. Seems like a no-brainer. Frankly, Resident Evil 2 is one of the classic, my favorite of the Resident Evil series are 1, 2, and 3, and I think 2 is probably my favorite, to be completely honest. Now, they've been working on this remake for a while now. It was announced way back in 2015, and if the quality of the first one is any indicator, I'm pretty excited for this one. Number 4 is H1Z1, more specifically King of the Kill. The separated off competitive element of H1Z1 is making its way to consoles this year. Last year the game was split into 2 games, the survival element and the competitive element, and the competitive element is making its way to consoles. Now, keep in mind, it functions as a full game. It's definitely a good shooter. It came out in September of 2016, and it has mixed reviews, but it is one of the most played games on Steam. It includes a large number of various games, including a battle royale, It makes good sense to bring this element of the game to consoles because it caters to the console shooter audience. If you've ever played H1Z1 competitively, you know exactly what you're getting out of it. It's an interesting thing that developed organically out of an open world survival game, and it'll be very cool to see it on consoles. Number 3, Resident Evil 7 is a true return to form for the series in a way that just absolutely doesn't look a damn thing like it's a true return to form for the series. But what you have to realize is it starts way outside the box and gradually works its way towards a Resident Evil center. And when it gets there, it's like, why didn't they make this game before? Why did we get several crappy ones? I mean, RE7 isn't technically a zombie game because you fight the Molded, which are kind of like zombies. They're large, gross, lumbering monsters, and they do a good job of filling in for the zombies, and in all actuality still feels basically like a zombie game. Also, we just really like Resident Evil here and want to pay respect to the series. And the Molded, while not technically zombies, actually a decent bit of lore. I'm interested in how and who and why. From the looks of it, the DLC that's coming may answer some of those questions, but the base game itself is delicious. Number 2 is Days Gone, which is kind of not a zombie game, but by the definition of that, 28 Days Later isn't a zombie movie, and frankly, the distinction isn't as important to me as it is to some people. However, it's important to say it's not a full-blown zombie game. Now that being said, this is one of the coolest looking games. The type of waves that we've seen in previews of this game make it seem like it's going to be one of the largest scale zombie style games that I've seen in pretty much ever. It's one of those things where you're like, man, it would be cool if they did this, but I don't know if it's possible. But the scale, the amounts of freakers, not zombies, freakers on screen at one time seems possible even on consoles now, which is great. This is one I'm definitely playing. And finally, number 1 is State of Decay 2, which is a third-person survival zombie game, open world with co-op, all the great stuff that we expect from these types of games now. But the thing that really sets it apart from the rest of these games is that we know it's the sequel to State of Decay, and State of Decay is awesome. Seriously, the combination of the simulation elements and the actually good AI characters, I don't know, there's just something more slick about State of Decay than there is about just about anything else. It's one of those games that I think comes together better than a lot of these other games, and I think knowing that that's the base that they're building on top of for State of Decay 2, there's literally no reason not to play.